Hey, small figure collectors and Gundam gashapon fans. I picked up two of these local guys here. Locally. What am I saying? I don't know English anymore. I believe that's supposed to say like Senshi Dash, and this maybe collection '04. Made by Bandai here. Is there a date? No. I think there might be 7 robots if I had to guess. Let's see. PVC and ABS plastic, so some flexi plastic and some rigid plastic. There's a little bit of a joint action in here. Okay. And then these are the other robots. Oh, that one's pretty funky looking. MS Mobile Suit 13. I don't even know what that is, but it looks very similar to these guys, which I have in Converge. And then Hidolfer, interesting. But then we're going to talk about these two guys, the arch enemies of each other, Barbatos and Graze, or Schwalbe Graze. Alright, this is the same thing. I don't know if these things come in capsules. They're just in these bags, but I don't know how they're actually marketed in a box or in a capsule. Actually, I shouldn't open this one. I might mix up the parts. So you have to get some clippers, or I guess you could just tear these right off the sprue. But I happen to have some clippers anyways, so why not? Oh, that one broke off on its own. Oop, that one flew off. Alright. Out of curiosity's sake and laziness, I'm going to just tear those off by hand. But first I'm going to put these guys together, because I don't want to mix them up. I don't know if they're identical or not, but I have a suspicion this goes on here. This peg. Boy, these are really small pieces. So if you have really fidgety hands like me, you might want to do this over like a tray or something, because if these vanish into your carpeting or somewhere, they might get lost pretty easily. Yeah, so these are different size hinge joints here. Alright. Now the other two, yeah, it might just be easier to twist them off if you don't really care about the appearance, which on something this small, I don't think it matters. I'm not trying to go for show status on my gashapon collectibles here. Small pin. So this is like molded in a gunmetal color. You can see the swirliness of the plastic, maybe. Yeah, like in particular, that doesn't look very nice. It's just that swirly plastic. Kind of wish it was just, one non-metallic color that didn't have that swirliness, but oh well. Alright, so let's see. We got all the parts just loose. This is the hip. I see. So nice. It looks like the legs are going to have ball pegs on them, and then there's a stand hole here. Ooh, but this is also dirty. But it looks like the bag was brand new. Alright, well, look at the bottom of the foot. Pretty plain. Nothing there. It's got some red, a little bit of black here on the toes, and the molded detail is not very crisp. It's not as crisp as, say, a Converge figure. It's like muted, or the mold is old or something like that. I mean, I'm sure they must make hundreds of thousands of these things for all the capsule machines or whatever in Japan. And also, I don't know how old this is, but oh, alright. I thought maybe it was old and wouldn't want to go in there, but so articulation wise, you can get a few degrees while it collides. A few degrees front and back, and then a little bit of in and out. Okay. It's a very deformed figure, so you can't really expect much by way of articulation. So here's the torso. Now again, it seems a little bit better than the legs, but it's just not very crisp, the panel lines and stuff. But it's nice as painted. I don't have to deal with that. We got gray, blue, and yellow. And it's got a ledge here, so once you put it on, it's not going to come off very easily. But because it's PVC, you can take it apart again. So I like that, it'll hold itself together, but it's still, able to break down. Here's the head, and it's just got green eyes Are they metallic? Yeah, actually, I think they're metallic green. I kind of wish they were a brighter metallic green. The chin is red, a little white there, and I feel like we're missing a lot of parts. So first of which is the antennae piece. Okay, that's nice. And yeah, being PVC, you can drop it and not be afraid it's going to break. There's a little gunmetal color in there, so that's nice. I feel like the head is missing some pieces though. What though? I guess this thing? It's got an L shape to it. So yeah, that goes on the side of the head. You might want to crazy glue that on. Might fall off and get lost. This is a different shape, so this one is telling you which one is left and right just by the shape of the pegs. Alright, that looks a lot better. Got a little yellow there. Some, panel line detailing and stuff like that. I think I'll save the head for last. It might be easier to do it that way. So here's the shoulder, and it's got nice red, that weird power icon that Barbatos has. And now, I guess the bigger joint pops in here, and I don't think it matters if it's left or right. Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference. So this is the bigger hole here versus that one, I'm guessing. So what's weird about these is this is a round like hinge, but this is a spherical opening. So I mean, I guess it's nice that you can rotate the thing around. I just don't know why this isn't spherical also. It would blend in better, I think. So now the small hinge joint goes into this one here. I'm assuming it did pop a little bit there. Maybe twist this so the ugly side is on the inside. And then the forearm, which has a hole for a weapon. I guess this is probably... I don't know if there's a front. I think the yellow probably goes on the front. Yeah. So this is the... I'm wondering if this is the right hand. I guess it is. The left hand, never mind. Alright, so... Now... I feel like that's not in there. That's the problem. Let's look at the other arm. See, it has a rounded recess, but I think the hinge joint isn't pressed together enough for that to rest in the forearm. I think it's better now. Okay, so maybe it'd be better to actually put this thing into the arm first. Man, it doesn't want to pop into that hole though. It's actually difficult. I don't really want to use pliers, it'll just leave plier marks, so, alright. Alright, that had a nice positive click. Alright, so that goes that way. And the big joint here. Alright, pop this in the torso. Okay. Sorry if I lost focus, I'm just looking at the toy, not through my phone. Okay, well, there you go. So it can rotate around. Obviously that has a peg in it, so you can move the whole hinge as well, and then you can have a butterfly in and out, so I think that works. Alright, and then the forearm, yeah, will go up like maybe 90, not even 90 degrees. It'll go back a tiny bit as well. Cool, I didn't even realize it had a little sword. It doesn't really have much of a handle, but you can just pop it in the hand. There you go. And then there's a back thruster pack piece or whatnot. Not sure which is up or down. Alright. Well, there it is. It's really, really small. How small is it? It's around 5 centimeters tall, or around 2 inches tall. But I mean, for a 2-inch figure, it has a lot of moving parts. You know, like it's actually quite posable, which is why I like these things. But it's definitely a bit, seems to be lacking in crispness of details compared to Converge. Alright, so same thing here. I'm just going to tear these off here. I guess it doesn't matter, tear them all off, they're all identical, so rotate. Can't get my fingers to make that one rotate. Alright. Can also probably just push this against the table. Yep, that actually helped. Maybe you should do that. Maybe that's what snaps it in place. Let's try this again. Nope, no snap. Alright. So let's start with the hip again. And it's just plain in the back. It looks actually plain in the back and the front. So I don't even know what the front is. I would assume it's this one because it's lower down. And then we have a leg. There's actually some printing on the bottom here. Legal jargon. The feet are like a dark gray, and yeah, the rest is just green. Little peg action there. So again, a little bit of front and back articulation, a little bit of in and out, left and right, that is. So the torso, we have some yellow, dark gray, some silver, and then the neck and the back. Yeah, alright. Not bad. Okay. So, let's see this head here. It's got gunmetal and a yellow optic. I'm assuming it has to interact with this. Okay. Well, that's weird. Like that thing just vanished, right? So, like, why would... Oh, I see. I think you're meant to pivot it. But it's not a ball, so I don't know. That's not a ball, so... maybe you can just have it in a little bit. Yeah, it's weird that that's not a ball peg. Because I feel like you should be able to open that more. Or I guess that's just it. You just do that. It seems to hold together, so okay. We'll put that on the end. Here's a shoulder, and it looks to have some sort of... Maybe that's the back. Very plain, you know, there's no panel lines whatsoever on this whole blank area, so it's kind of weird. That's the forearm. Okay. I'm assuming this is the back, right? So I gotta put this on this side. Yeah, so then your arm will come up like 85 degrees or something, go back maybe 5 degrees. But yeah, it's pretty much, you can't twist the forearm because both of these are rounded, both green pieces, that is. That's alright. Well, no, it goes in this way. Alright, so again, yeah, you can get a butterfly effect here, and then the whole thing will spin around, so I'll pop the head on, and then see if we can open that thing up a little bit. It's really hard to get your finger in there. So I guess that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. It's like a bird beak or something, but with an eye inside. And it looks like we have two weapons on this one. We have a hatchet, and then some sort of pistol. Alright, so we'll do the pistol on this side. Doesn't matter which side, both have holes in them. And the hatchet on this side. Alright, so this guy actually is much more loaded out than the Barbatos. There's a little gold paint on their head as well there. Cool. So the only thing really missing is like a stand. You know, it has the peg hole, but that's a really small peg hole. I've never seen a stand with a peg hole, that peg on it, that small. But it's almost like you could just make your own stands out of toothpicks. That's what I'm thinking. I think you'll get some. Yeah, even better than a toothpick. You know, I don't want to paint a toothpick. I'm too lazy. I have these little micro swabs. I'm gonna guess they're for eyelashes or something, but I use them for cleaning off paint on making models. So I'll just clip this off a little bit. Yeah, that actually works. So if you wanted to put it in a more jumping position, I guess. I don't know if you can, it's just such a small figure. Well, yeah, I don't know. So anyways, making a stand isn't that difficult. You just have something really thin, and this works pretty well. Oh well. Alright, forget it. Let's just put it on the table for now and compare it to a few other toys. Okay, so here's a 1/400 scale Gundam Juago, and that's such a weird looking robot, it would actually fit in with these guys. Here's a Bandai product. This is an Iron Man Mark 1, but I don't know what these little guys are called, like what line they are, right? But it's obviously too small. Here's a model kit by Cavico. It's the Nachin tank character. I painted it quite a bit though, and actually that's around the same size, so that something like that would fit well. Here's a Gundam Artifact model kit. It's a bit too tall, and frankly it's a bit too realistic looking compared to these deformed ones. This is, I think, a Senshi F or something. It doesn't have those joints. This has ball joints. So, and it has the stand. It's the same overall height, I think. But, yeah. I like the stand. And then this is a Senshi Dash as well, so you can see it has the same hinges. But this is the crazy Zaku from Thunderbolt. With all that crazy stuff in the back. It's quite nice. So that's a... Well, let's get some of these other ones out. I still want to put out some more. These are totally weird. Okay. So, I pretty much have a Converge channel. Right? That's... Right nowadays, most of the stuff I'm reviewing are Bandai Converge figures. So these are the variations of them, of these two particular robots. And you can just see, well, I can see, there's just much more detail going on the Converge figures. Sure, they're bigger figures, so they should have more detail. But I mean, just look at all the nooks and crannies on the arms and legs of that Barbatos, whereas this one, it's not so great. And also, this Converge is fully painted. That white paint is all over the body, whereas this is just the raw white plastic. Right, this is the raw green plastic, whereas this is painted blue. And so painting stuff obviously makes it look a lot nicer as well. It doesn't look as shiny and plasticky. You can just see the shininess of the head of that guy. Alright. Well, it's no big deal, you know. These things aren't super expensive, so the Converges cost more, so they should, have more details. Yeah, I'm not really sure though if I'm not sure if I'm gonna order too many more of these. I feel like I'd just rather have more Converge figures. It's just that I'm on a bit of a Barbatos kick. In fact, right now, if you watch Gundam Info on YouTube, they're showing Iron-Blooded Orphans, which these two robots are from, the first season. So I just had a marathon of that a few days ago, and I watched all of it. And so now's a chance to get it for free. There's English and many other subtitles on there as well. So if you're into other languages besides Japanese and English, I'm sure you might be able to find something there. They're in my playlist. Alright, well thanks for watching today. I'll see you in the next Super Deformed video.